Good morning again. Now it's day 9, and we've had a lot of meetings. It's about the time to break out into chorus, led by Leland Paris and his 100-member Texas choir. I'm exhausted, O Lord, among the nations. Or from meeting to meeting, he's changing me. In any case, we're getting deeper into some of the implications now of the things we've been hearing, the implications of what it means to make disciples of nations, what it means to teach a full gospel, or to equip leaders for kingdom service, for making a real impact and change in nations. It's not enough that we circle ourselves within an ecclesial structure alone, that meaning church or mission, but we're talking about entering into the halls of government, into the media, business involvement, and how much is our university really equipping people for such things? Probably not enough. And of course, I, as a student mobilization leader, propose that we begin immediately mobilizing students from each of those spheres of society into projects, internships, and discipleship moments in the learning by doing, those kinds of events that we can host as YWAM, University of the Nations, leaders from around the world. We can engage nations. We can go into the schools in Liberia, for example, and as I'm proposing a project that I have up on the docket that I'm creating a registry of 100 field projects, and one of which is teaching forgiveness through a curriculum put together by Dr. Bob Enright at the University of Wisconsin, and that the nation of Liberia has opened up all of their schools nationwide to teach the teachers the forgiveness curriculum. A nation that's been war-torn by civil war for 15 years. There's certainly great need for healing hearts and souls and minds, and that recovery is needed in order that nation, those people, those children may grow up in a nation with hope for a future. This is discipleship of nations, and this is the sort of thing that we can be mobilizing people to assist with. There are projects in economics and business, projects in government, education, healthcare, social work, projects in engineering, water resources, even environmental resource. We need to disciple tomorrow's leaders through the fields of their studies, their particular bent. It's improper, actually, that we would assume that all of our students in our discipleship training schools would somehow become missionaries in a church structure, but rather we want to encourage them to move on with the call of God on their lives. And if that call takes them into the JFK School of Government in Boston at Harvard, then so be it. We need to enter all these various halls of leadership and leadership development, once again saturate, if you will, baptize the nations, saturate these places with the presence of God's people, thinking biblically, acting biblically. Unfortunately, well over 100 years ago now, many of our universities, which had been founded with Christian purpose, were abandoned by the vast majority of evangelical Christians who took their ball and their bat and their Bible and they went and started their own schools. And even some of the premier Christian colleges and universities today do not have law schools. Therefore, we have no reason to complain that laws, judges, politicians are not following God's ways. It's because of the long disobedience of God's people in our own nation of the United States. And how can we raise up leaders that are going to sustain a future for our children and grandchildren? Too often, evangelicals, Christians have abandoned faithfulness and faithful presence, as it says in James Davidson Hunter's book. We need to have a faithful presence in every arena of society, in the halls of leadership and influence, and even among the people of great poverty. In order to have an influence oftentimes in places of great elite leadership, it's important that you're willing and first to go to the places where there's abject poverty by setting an example through your life, your deeds, your words, your actions. Authority is ascribed to you as a result of having served among the poor. For example, Mother Teresa served among the poor and then was later ushered into the halls of leadership and given the Nobel Prize. So we mobilize students into places of poverty, places of great deep need, and give students who, whether they know it or not, are considered the elite by the majority of the world, students from elite schools, students in universities and colleges, not just in the U.S., but around the world, and give them opportunity to go and serve and learn according to the field of their studies alongside the poor and the needy in urban centers and rural centers, and get revelation of the purpose of that field of study, that career they have been gifted to do, or at least to test it to see if it truly is God's call on their life. And as a result, they will become nation disciplers in their particular category. This is the work that I'm about, and I'm coming out of this meeting with hopes that at least 30 different projects would be registered, and by the end of the year, 100 projects registered for posting on our website to mobilize students according to the field of their studies. So that's all I'm going to share for today. And tomorrow's day 10. We start our Student Mobilization Center meetings. And we've got Aldrin, John Wong, Elaine Yan, Dion McDowell here. We're going to be covering a lot of these sorts of things and implications from the things we've gotten from our discussions with Vishal Mangawati and on the other leaders from the book, actually the two books. So for today, I'm signing off. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Bye.